right. So with the next topic, we will be discussing our final power rankings of All Takes Valid for the 2020 season.
COVID. How
COVID.
to say
Yep.
COVID.
So with that being said, I guess I'll go ahead and um, actually, you know what?
Well, yeah,
Start things off
Spence.
a little
Yeah,
different.
Spence has to do the
Yeah,
NFLs.
and you can
All
go ahead and
right.
give.
All right, gentlemen. For the last one for the NFL Power Ranking for Week 17, it goes as follows. At number 1 is the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2 is the Buffalo Bills. 3 is Green Bay. 4 is the Saints. 5 is the Ravens. 6 is the Seahawks. 7 is the Steelers. 8 Bucks. 9 Browns. And the number 10 spot is Mr. Derrick Henry in the Titans.
All right. Actually, for a change, Spence, you want to kick it off?
Well, glad you said that. So last week I had Kansas City at 1, Bills at 2, Green Bay at 3, New Orleans at 4, Titans at 5, Seahawks at 6, Browns at 7, Ravens at 8, 9 Colts, and 10 Steelers. But for this week, it has changed up dramatically. Most of them. And anyways, number 1, still number spot is Kansas City. Number 2 is going to have to be Green Bay. They're yeah. After the Titan win, I think they solidified their win. Number 3, I'll give the Bills. Number 4, I'm giving the Saints. Number 5 is, well, what do y'all call yourself, Trey?
Who's that?
You guys. What do y'all call?
Oh,
What
we're the
do you
king. We're the
call
kings.
you guys?
We're the kings of the north. Actually, is what
Well,
you can
at number
refer to us
5,
as.
at number 5, well, at number 5, according to Trey, is the Kings of the North, the Steelers. Number 6 is your your NFC West leaders and champs, the Seahawks. Number 7, I'm giving to the Dolphins. Number 8, I'm giving to the Ravens. 9, Titans, and 10, I'm gonna give it to the Bucks.
Okay. All right. Bucks at 10.
I mean, yeah.
All right, Trey.
All right. So, Kansas City, I got them at 1 for obvious reasons. I mean, even though it was a close call there, but it is what it is. It seems like even if they play bad, quote unquote, or like Patrick Mahomes hasn't ever had like a bad game per se. They're just bad for his standards. So just want to throw that out there first. But anyways, the Chiefs are 1. Packers, impressive win. Packers are 2. But I don't know how impressive that win was at the same token because you got to remember the Colts beat up on them pretty bad one game and they lost to the Bengals. So just saying, the Titans have been kind of wishy-washy up and down all year. But statement win nonetheless. They shut down the King, Derrick Henry. Yeah, the actual king. Anyway, you like that? Yeah. So yeah,
Nah.
Packers at 2. The Bills, I got them at number 3. Saints at 4. The Kings of the North, we go up from 6 to 5 for my power rankings last week. Baltimore, I got them at 6.
Okay.
The Rats have had an impressive last month, I'd say, clawing their way to get they actually hold a playoff spot now. They didn't have one before, but they got one now. Congrats. And if the season ended today, but it doesn't, y'all get y'all ass smacked by us for the 3rd time this season. So it possibly can happen.
Ooh.
That's what you wanted. You wanted this. You asked for it.
If this happens,
Ravens with the upset. Mm.
Oh, I gotta be the deciding factor. All right, come on, move on.
Okay, so Ravens at 6. I got the Bucks at 7. Tampa Bay back in the playoffs. Okay, I see you. In 8, Seattle, NFC West champs. Got the Seahawks at 8. The Dolphins, I got them at 9. And even though they just got demolished, I'm keeping the Titans barely by grass hanging on to the 10th spot because I can't put Cleveland there after they blew the division and you lost to the Jets. You can make excuses they didn't have their receivers. You still got 2 top flight running backs. Why you ain't run the ball more? I don't understand. You got to hold that L. You lost to the Jets. You can't be nowhere near my top 10. Sorry. But that's me. Go ahead,
All
Mr.
right.
Bynum.
So for my power rankings, I got the Kansas City Chiefs number 1, as I have always had them all throughout the season. Number 2, I still got the Saints. Still got the Saints. They're looking pretty good. They had a good game against the Chiefs last week, and I think they're starting to get their groove back. Um, Even though they still have a great record as is. But number 3, the Packers. I actually, like Trey said, it's kind of, it's not really telling you the whole story, but I don't know. I'm starting to become more and more of a believer in the Packers, especially with who, there's certain somebody that I think maybe the top MVP candidate, but we'll talk about that in a few.
Mhm.
So Packers at 3, Bills at 4. I got the Dolphins. I believe I had them last week in the top 5, and I still got them in the top 5.
Hmm.
Bucks at 6, Ravens at 7, Seattle Seahawks at 8,
Mhm.
the Pittsburgh Steelers at 9,
The AFC
and
North Kings of the North is how you refer to us, sir.
the Pittsburgh Curtains at 9, as I
Wow.
said, and the Los Angeles Rams to cap off my top 10.
How
Right.
how dare you disrespect your majesty like that?
I,
Your
I,
king.
I have one question. I have
Your
one question.
king.
Wait. I have one question. I have one question, Vic. I have one question.
Go ahead.
I know you based on your list on a repetition of in different matchups who win out of that matchups.
Yeah. Well, for the most
Right.
part. And
Most
also,
of right.
like, yeah.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Yeah, for the most part, because you
Right.
know
Hang on.
get them.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out why is the leader of y'all division at number 9, but y'all, who's not leading the division, is ranked higher than them. I'm just questioning.
And
I'm
and
not.
and
I'm not
got
questioning.
and got the broom. And got the broom. Throw that
And
in.
you got swept in your matchups. That's right. So I would just want to hear all your explanation, whatever it is. Hey, that's you. I just want to hear it.
And we
Okay.
beat the Titans. The Titans. I'm
Hang
just throwing
on.
things out there. I'm just trying to understand it too.
That's
Hang
fine.
on. Let him explain.
So my reasoning as to why I
Right.
have the Pittsburgh Steelers
And
at
right.
number 9 right now
Right.
is
Right.
because of, well, for one, their actually before last week I didn't even have them in my top 10.
Right. Right.
They were at, I believe they were 12 if I remember correctly,
Right.
or 11. But
Right.
either way, so yeah, despite the fact that the Ravens have lost to the Steelers twice
Oh,
on
and two.
COVID reasons. The other one, they shouldn't have won, but they did, so they got that.
Acting that ass, yeah.
But
Right. Okay. Okay. Hang on.
they lost to the Washington football team. They lost to the Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
And who else did they lose to? Didn't they lose to the Bills too?
Mhm.
Yes, the loss of the Bills.
Okay, so a 3-game losing streak, obviously the Cincinnati Bengals was like the big blow to where I was like, yeah, you lost to the Bengals, you're out of the top 10 for sure. They
Right.
won, got themselves back in by beating the Indianapolis Colts. Like I said, I go by head to head, but also I go off of who's hot right now type of deal. So they got themselves back in the top 10 because they beat the Colts, but I'm still not a big believer in the Steelers. Uh, and I did, like I said, the Colts is not making the playoffs. That was my prediction so far. One out of three teams that I predicted, which the Arizona Cardinals, I think right now are outside the playoff picture for the NFC. But I had the Miami Dolphins, um, and there was another team in the AFC that I said that was going to make the playoffs. Um,
In the AFC,
the AFC, yeah.
y'all little brother.
Well, I did say okay. So I did say we were going to make the playoffs. The Ravens, when
Right.
y'all saying they were Ravens won't make the playoffs, but still early. We got one more week, but it's looking good.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I have them slightly
Okay. Okay.
spots behind the Ravens because the Ravens are like probably one of the hottest teams right now. So
Right. Because of your win streak. Now, just let me just say this, and we're gonna move on. See, this
I see it.
now according to this, it goes Browns, Titans, Dolphins. I think
Yeah,
it's y'all, right?
That's the Ravens.
Yeah, and then y'all, and then the Colts.
Yeah, I see
Right.
that.
Right. So
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying is this: I'm trying to figure out because let's be honest, in the beginning of the year, y'all struggling, and now y'all going on this hot streak now.
Yeah, I mean injuries.
Right. Right.
Happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But you're 10-5.
Yeah.
But you have them ranked higher than a team that's not only has clinched y'all division, already clinched a spot in the playoffs, and y'all 0-2 on, but you have them at number 9.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
All right, got it. Moving on.
I've already stated all that.
All right. Yeah.
The Steelers,
Like I said, I just want
logic.
confirmation. I just want confirmation. We're good. Move on.
It's Ravens logic. It's not supposed to make sense.
it makes complete sense. Y'all just
I got you.
It's a rat with a brain, a rat bird.
Yeah, trying to change the narrative.
We good.
Y'all not gonna get away with that. Not at all.
No one's changing any narrative. The facts are the facts. That's your take. That is your take. Whether it's wrong or not, that's your take.
So didn't the Colts get their doors blown off by the Cleveland Browns like 5 6 weeks ago?
Right.
All right. So I mean, 3-game losing streak could have been a fourth. They haven't looked so impressive. Like I keep saying, they remind me so much of the undefeated team last year, the New England Patriots, that eventually went off the rails and basically just were hanging on to the thread of their lives in the playoffs. And
you talk about the Patriots that beat y'all.
No, the Patriots didn't beat us.
No, I'm talking about this season. The Patriots did beat y'all.
Oh yeah,
they're not even in the conversation right now.
I mean, we all know what happened with that. Anyways,
I don't know what happened. I know y'all lost.
Yeah, you do know what happened. But anyways,
Lamar played, so yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
they have COVID that game.
I mean, there was injuries, players that were on COVID. Actually, no, there was.
No, you gotta get your excuses right in Baltimore. That was the rain. That was the rain. It was the weather. Yeah, it was the weather.
I know what happened. I ain't gotta really explain it, but y'all know. Y'all know.
Listen.
Getting his excuses messed up.
Listen. Like I said, I don't know about him. Like I said, I just wanted your reason. Whatever it was, I just wanted.
All right, we can move on.
The fact
of the matter is, we run the North and we swept them boys.
Nah.
And if we end up matching up again, like
it's
gonna happen, we will smack them for a third time.
That's not gonna happen, but
it doesn't even matter. Then you can put the Ravens wherever you want to put them in your rankings, because once we beat you for that third time, it doesn't even matter.
Man, keep dreaming, Key Sweat. Keep dreaming.
Ooh, I feel a bet coming on.
It's not gonna happen.
Oh, I think he's all maxed out right now. He don't want no more.
Wow.
All right. So with that being said, on to the next topic. We got the resting or not resting players. Is that a good or bad idea? So Trey, I know you kind of jumped on it a little bit. Actually, you know what, Spencer, we haven't heard your take on it. Go ahead and give us a little your take on that.
Resting and non-resting. A word that seems that it's very tainted in the ways of sports. Now, on one hand, you want to rest your players before playoffs so you can have them at optimal level before anything. So you kind of have it on that, but you also have to worry about momentum. You rest the players that you've been working to more momentum. You rest them, and they come back. They might come back completely cold. So it's really a double edged sword. It could be some health benefits from that, but it also can have some mentality downside to that. It's a very delicate process when it comes to resting and not resting players. Now, there are some players that definitely do need rest more than others. I will say that, but I don't know. That's one of the things that I'm literally like I have to literally admit I'm stuck in the middle of because on one hand I really don't condone resting, but on the other hand I understand if you have to rest somebody because if not, I won't give the optimal like the maximum potential of that person, especially that player. But there's some things that hey, you signed up for it. This is how it goes. So I have to be honest with you, gentlemen. I'm stuck in the middle. I understand. I'm stuck in the middle, which I said I understand. If some people's like, yeah, we need a rest, and I definitely understand. Of those who like, nah, we don't need a rest. I get it, but I'm literally stuck in the middle of it.
Okay.
All
So
right.
my
So
take on that is
go ahead.
Say,
Go ahead.
you go ahead. You go ahead. Trey.
Nah. So I'm using right now. I'm using Pittsburgh. I'm gonna give you two examples. I'm gonna give you two sides of the spectrum.
okay,
So I'm gonna give you
okay,
Pittsburgh, which I already gave you a little bit of how I feel like I kind of want to play them at least a quarter or kind of treat kind of how you do preseason
right,
in a sense, just to kind of keep
just
that momentum going off of the second half of the
right,
close game. But
right. I understand.
I do understand the benefit because of the fact, is specifically with us, we have been playing since week one. We haven't had a bye week. So, I mean, we had a bye week, but okay, we found out that it was our bye week that Thursday. So, we had already still
Right,
practice and everything. So, I'm saying like they've
right.
been playing pretty much 16 weeks straight,
Almost all.
almost all season.
Yeah.
So, they could benefit
Right.
from
So.
having that time off.
Oh,
But
right.
at the same time, from what we've seen the last month from this team, I don't know if I want to give them any rest. I don't know if I need them to try to get or stay as
Momentum.
much in this gear that they were at the end of the half as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that side of it. There's the other side of it where you're the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Number one seeds locked up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you really playing for at this point? Like it's all locked up. So on that end of the spectrum, yeah, rest everybody, cool. But and I don't know, my points always they keep segueing, but and it's not to try to segue right now, but Mahomes has something to play for, I think, right now. If you look at where he's at stat wise,
Mm-hmm.
potentially winning MVP or not, I think. I think him resting possibly changes who wins the MVP. I don't know because the Packers are still going to play. Aaron Rodgers is still going to play because the Packers are competing for the one seed still, so
Mm-hmm.
they have everything to play for still. Kansas City has everything locked up already. It just matters if they care about the individual awards like the MVP or not. But as far as like the team goes, they're good. But you don't want to end up like a certain number one seed, number one team did last year, which I'll let this gentleman go ahead and kind of explain that because he knows about that all too well.
Oh yeah, y'all did
So
did
yeah,
that.
what's your take on resting players?
I forgot y'all did that.
My opinion about resting play, I don't think I don't think it's a good idea. I think again, momentum. Even if you want to rest your players, I think the best thing to do is let them play a half.
Yeah. Okay.
Let them play a half, and then second half, win or lose, let the second, third string players play. But don't let them have another bye week, and then you got the first round bye on top of that, especially if you got you got the first round off. Like,
Right. So you haven't
You
already
already
have
got a
enough time
bye.
for that.
yeah, so I feel like every player, they need rhythm. Momentum is a big thing. So if you're playing and you got your swag, and just your whole team is just on a roll. Just keep it going. The longer you rest your players, the more the harder it's going to be for your players in the long haul to get that rhythm to where they can continue it on to the next round. And I just think it's a big deal for every player to basically get some PT, especially if you're going to be starting in the postseason. But it's that's just my take. I don't think resting is a big deal. And I from what I've seen in history, like most teams that rest their players, especially their starters, they typically have a hard time winning the Super Bowl that year. You hear it, numerous times with like the Denver Broncos back in, I think it was 97, 98. That Shannon Sharp, usually talks about that, they had the first round bye. They were Kiki and got, just having a good time. And, come time that first round, they got smacked. And just like my Ravens did last season, they got smacked because they just thought that, hey, we're on top of the world. Like, we're going to coast this all the way to the Super Bowl, and ends up not being the case. So, yeah, that's just my whole take on that. I don't believe in it. If anything, let them play a half, and then the rest of the game, you can be cautious. But
Yeah, I mean, I get the flip side of it because taking the factor that you play your starters week 17 when you got everything locked up already and they get hurt.
yeah, and
Don't
see,
have
to
them for
me,
the playoffs. But then
it,
again, you can get hurt in any game, so I guess that's always a risk. But
exactly.
I guess in that situation when it's already locked up and you don't have to do it, you don't do it. So I don't know.
Like I
But
said, I agree for I understand if when people say don't rest them, and I also understand when people say rest them. Like I said, I understand both sides of the both sides of the coin, but also I know the cons on both sides of the coin. So, like
Yeah,
I said, I understand.
I mean maybe for more veteran players, I can understand I guess resting because it might not take them as much to necessarily get into that gear or that groove.
Right.
Like maybe Ben, for example, Ben has been to the playoffs throughout his career, so maybe him resting
Maybe you should
not
get some
so
rest.
much gonna hurt. Maybe it might benefit him. Maybe
Yeah.
I just
him particularly. Now some of these, like some of our receiving core, well, they're pretty much all young. Like Juju's the oldest. He's the veteran receiver. And he's young, so
is he like 23, 24?
24. So it's like he's not even really old either. So maybe
Right.
some guys like that, you want them to still play and get the reps, catch the ball, stuff like that. So um I don't know. It's hit or miss. Like you said, there's no right answer per se because you could just like what happened with y'all last year, right? Because you did rest them. If y'all didn't rest them, y'all would have lost. Then you would have been like, we should have rested them. So
Yeah.
you either way, there's no real right answer.
Winner.
Yeah,
And another thing to add to that is like also like with depending on the team. Like, for example, since we just mentioned my Ravens last year, they're a young team. I mean, let's just, as simple as it is, that we're a young team. I felt like we need to continue to get that continuity, like just
And
t-
y'all were hot at that time last year. Honestly, like y'all were
2 weeks off.
rolling. Yeah, 2 whole weeks of not doing anything. You're gonna be a little rusty, honestly.
Yeah. So like, to me it's like if you got a young team, like how Trey was, talking about with Ben Roethlisberger, like he's a veteran quarterback, Rodgers,
Yeah,
Tom Brady, just quarterbacks like that to where it's just like, okay, we know what you can do in the playoffs.
right.
You can go ahead and take the week off or, have like a first
Limited
quarter drive.
practice and
Yeah. But other than that, if it's like a young like Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson,
yeah.
not Russell.
Tua gonna be in the playoffs. Somebody like that. Like he needs all the extra reps. He hasn't done it before.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what the atmosphere is gonna be like. So
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, like I said, I guess it's a case by case situation, and the coach has to know how certain players or individuals respond.
Yeah.
You know who you can give like the day off to, and you know who you can't. So
Yep.
I
You gotta
guess
know
it
your
just kind of
team.
comes into that. Like, yeah, you as the coach have to know what works for certain players, I guess, in a sense. But again, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. So I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. But I guess we can move on. What is that too? Is this our final topic we're gonna embark on?
Yeah. Our final topic, MVP, our prediction.
All right.